Right now, there are 3 TVs sitting in living rooms across the country. One costs $800, one costs around $1,100, and one costs over $1,400. And here is the question nobody is asking. Is the most expensive one actually the best one? Today, we are breaking down the 3 most talked about televisions of 2026. LG's C5 OLED, Samsung's S90F OLED, and the TCL QM7K Mini LED. Pros, cons, and a verdict that might genuinely change which one you buy. Stay until the end. Number 3. TCL QM7K Mini LED, around $700 to $800. Kicking us off at number 3 is the TV that has no business being this good for the price. And before we get into the details, let us talk about what Mini LED actually means. Unlike a standard TV that uses one big backlight behind the screen, Mini LED uses thousands of tiny individual lights that can turn on and off independently. The result is dramatically better contrast, brighter highlights, and deeper blacks than any standard television at this price point. Pros. First, the brightness is extraordinary. The QM7K hits up to 3,000 nits of peak brightness in HDR mode. To put that in perspective, 3,000 nits is 3 times brighter than most standard televisions. This makes it the best TV on this list for bright living rooms. If you watch TV during the day with sunlight coming through the windows, neither OLED on this list can compete with how visible and vivid the screen looks. Second, the gaming performance is exceptional. A 144 Hz native refresh rate with 2,500 precise local dimming zones means fast-moving content looks buttery smooth with virtually no blur or ghosting. It supports Dolby Vision, HDR10+, IMAX Enhanced, and FreeSync Premium Pro. And Bang & Olufsen tuned speakers are built in, an audio partnership you simply do not find on a television at this price. Third, Google TV is one of the best smart TV platforms available. Every streaming service you could want is available. Google Assistant and Alexa are both built in. Chromecast and Apple AirPlay 2 let you cast from any phone or tablet directly to the screen. And the interface is fast, clean, and simple to navigate. Fourth, the price. At around $700 to $800 for the 65-inch model, this is $500 to $700 cheaper than either OLED on this list. For a family room or a bedroom TV, this is an extraordinary amount of television for the money. Cons. But the TCL QM7K has one weakness that is impossible to ignore: black levels. When you turn the lights off and watch a dark scene, the difference between this and an OLED is visible to the naked eye. OLED pixels turn completely off to produce true black. Mini LED uses a backlight that can only dim, not fully turn off. In very dark scenes with bright highlights, you can sometimes see a faint glow around bright objects. Reviewers call this blooming, and while TCL has done an impressive job minimizing it with their halo control technology, it is still present in extreme scenes. If you watch a lot of films in a dark room at night, this matters. If you mostly watch sport, news, and entertainment in a normal room with some ambient light, you will probably never notice. The second weakness is HDMI connectivity. Only 2 of the 4 HDMI ports support 4K at 144 Hz. The other 2 are limited to 4K at 60 Hz. For most viewers, this is not an issue, but for hardcore gamers with multiple consoles, it is worth knowing before you buy. Number 2, Samsung S90F OLED, around $1,100. Coming in at number 2 is Samsung's most talked about television of the year, and Business Insider called it the best TV of 2026. That is a bold claim. So let us find out if it is true. Pros. First, the QD OLED panel is a genuine technological breakthrough. Standard OLED uses a white base layer with color filters on top. Samsung's Quantum Dot OLED fuses quantum dot technology directly with the OLED panel to produce red, green, and blue light with no white layer at all. The result is richer, more saturated colors that are measurably more accurate than standard OLED, while still delivering perfect blacks and infinite contrast. Peak brightness hits around 1,700 nits, significantly brighter than the LG C5, while maintaining the perfect black levels that OLED is famous for. Second, the gaming credentials are outstanding. All 4 HDMI ports support 4K at 144 Hz. That is something even the LG C5 does not offer. Input lag measures around 9 milliseconds, making it one of the fastest responding televisions ever tested. Samsung's Gaming Hub lets you stream Xbox Game Pass and GeForce Now directly from the TV without needing a console at all. Third, the design is stunning. At just 16 millimeters thick, the S90F is thinner than most people's fingers. The solar cell remote charges itself using ambient light, never needing a battery replacement. And the ultra-slim pedestal stand elevates the screen in a way that makes it look more like art than technology. Fourth, at around $1,100 for the 65-inch model, this is significantly more affordable than the flagship Samsung S95F, which costs nearly twice as much, while delivering similar picture performance. Cons. But the Samsung S90F has a frustrating weakness that every serious home cinema fan will notice immediately. It does not support Dolby Vision. Dolby Vision is the gold standard HDR format, used on Netflix, Disney+, and Apple TV Plus for the highest quality streaming content. Samsung has refused to support Dolby Vision for years, instead relying on their own HDR10+ format. In real-world use, most people will not notice the difference. But if you care about getting the absolute best picture quality from your streaming services, this is a meaningful omission that the LG C5 does not have. The second weakness is the glossy screen. Without the anti-reflective coating found on Samsung's more expensive S95F flagship, the S90F can pick up reflections in moderately bright rooms. It is not unusable, but it is noticeably more reflective than the TCL QM7K or the LG C5. And the sound quality is serviceable, but not impressive. At this price point, you should budget for a soundbar alongside the television. Number 1, LG C5 OLED, around $1,400. And taking the number 1 spot is the television that has been rated the best TV of 2025 and remains one of the strongest recommendations heading into 2026. And there is one very important thing to say before we get into the details. The LG C5 is currently available for around $1,400, down from its original launch price of nearly $2,700. That price drop alone makes this the most extraordinary value proposition in the premium television market right now. Pros. First, the picture quality is the best of any television at this price. OLED means every single pixel produces its own light and can turn completely off independently. That delivers true black, not dark gray, not a faint glow, actual absolute black. The contrast ratio is technically infinite because you are comparing a pixel producing light against a pixel producing nothing. In dark room viewing, watching films, documentaries, and drama, nothing at any price looks better than a well-calibrated OLED. Reviewers at Tom's Guide said the LG C5 forced them to reconsider what OLED technology is capable of. That is a remarkable statement about a television that now costs $1,400. Second, Dolby Vision support is class-leading. Unlike the Samsung S90F, the LG C5 supports Dolby Vision fully. Dolby Vision delivers more dynamic metadata than any other HDR format, meaning every frame of a Dolby Vision film is individually optimized for the exact capabilities of your screen. Netflix, Disney+, Apple TV+, every major streaming platform uses Dolby Vision for their best content. Third, the gaming features are exceptional. 4 HDMI 2.1 ports support 4K at 144 Hz with variable refresh rate, G-Sync, and AMD FreeSync Premium. Input lag measures around 1.2 milliseconds in game mode, making it one of the most responsive gaming televisions ever made. And LG's Game Optimizer interface gives you precise control over every gaming setting without leaving the game. Fourth, the AI picture processing is genuinely impressive. The Alpha 9 AI processor Gen 8 analyzes every frame of content and applies different processing based on what type of content it detects. Sport gets different sharpening than cinema. News gets different color treatment than animation. The result is picture quality that adapts intelligently to whatever you are watching, without you needing to manually switch modes. The LG C5 is not perfect. The most common complaint from reviewers is the built-in sound. The speakers are functional, but at this price point, LG should be delivering better audio. Budget for a soundbar if you want the full home cinema experience. The second weakness is bright room performance. OLED panels are dimmer than Mini LED at their peak brightness. The LG C5 hits around 1,000 nits of peak brightness versus 3,000 nits on the TCL. In a living room flooded with natural light during the day, the TCL QM7K will look significantly more vivid and punchy. If you watch most of your television in a bright room, the OLED disadvantage is real and worth considering. And the third weakness is value relative to the Samsung. At around $300 more than the S90F, the question becomes whether the Dolby Vision support, slightly better black levels, and broader critical acclaim justify the price gap. For most viewers, yes it does. But for Samsung loyalists who have invested in Samsung's ecosystem of soundbars and smart home devices, the S90F is a compelling alternative that costs less. So where does this leave us? If you have a bright living room, watch a lot of sport and entertainment during the day, and want the best possible picture for your money without crossing the $1,000 mark, the TCL QM7K at around $700 to $800 is remarkable and should not be overlooked. If you are a serious gamer, want Samsung's ecosystem integration, and do not care about Dolby Vision, the Samsung S90F at around $1,100 punches well above its price with its Quantum Dot OLED panel and extraordinary gaming performance. But if you watch films in a dark room, want the absolute best picture quality at a price that has never been lower, and need Dolby Vision for your streaming services, the LG C5 at around $1,400 is the greatest value in premium television right now. LG, Samsung, or TCL? Which side are you on? Drop it in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to This versus That for more comparisons every single week. See you in the next one.